Hi, everybody. I'm Deacon Dave.
I'm Layperson Lisa.
Welcome to the Deacon Dave and Layperson Lisa show, live from the playroom
in the hotel in San Vincente,
Spain. We're still in Spain, Lisa. I'm trying to figure out.
We will be for a little bit.
Yeah, maybe for like another 4 weeks.
Yes.
Give or take a couple of days before we get back to the States.
See.
And so, big day today, as we reached. Yes, Lisa, come over where you can be in the screen. 200 miles that we reached.
Yes.
That's weird. I have to lean in. I almost have to lean in order to get into the screen. You know what I mean?
Why is it so narrow today?
I don't know,
That's weird.
but either way. Nope, that doesn't work. This is just
This
the way
is
it is. I'm not holding it out like this
No.
because that would make my arm too
No
tired.
Aqua Podcast Studio today, but
Yes.
I guess technically we could have.
We could have.
Because this was another amazing phenomena.
The tide came in.
The tide came in. So today we were walking through the Camino, and many places had very low ground, like we could see sand mixed with a little bit of water.
The beach was probably a half a mile wide.
The beach was huge,
right.
And the water was way back from where we were, but we were still walking on wet sand, so we knew that at high tide we would have been in trouble.
Well,
and then when we entered the city,
but wait, there's more.
Yes, when we entered the city of San Vincente, we saw all these beached boats, and it was because there was low tide. And then when we went for gelato, they were all floating, and we saw a marina, and it was a beached marina.
Yeah, but now it's vibrant looking.
An actual.
Yeah, so I think the tide change here is probably 8 to 10 feet.
Like huge.
Yeah, like at home it's only like 3 feet.
Yes, 3 feet.
But here it's quite significant.
Yes, huge.
And so if you're on the beach at low tide and you go to walk on the beach, it is a long walk to get to the water.
Yes.
But you could tell that there wasn't a lot of beach at high tide.
Right.
The scary part is there's a lot of rocks and everything that are sticking up. So at high tide, you have to be careful where you're walking if you're going out into the water.
Yes, you sure do.
Because otherwise you might stub your toe.
But it was a beautiful beach.
Yeah, so 200 miles today.
200 miles, yes.
About 300 miles to go.
205.
Yeah, we're at 205 now.
Yes.
So our goal is 500 to 520.
Yes.
All in, Camino walking plus walking around the city.
Let me see if I can pull up our picture of our 205.
Yeah, go ahead. And so today, we only did 10 miles today. So not a bad day. And tomorrow we're scheduled for about 10 and a half, which means we'll probably do, 12 or 13 miles total. If you can see, look at that.
200 miles.
Yeah, it's backwards on there, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Very cool. That was the picture we took.
Yeah.
We just happened to be by a beach. And of course, with my expert navigating skills, I found a shortcut that allowed us to walk along the beach. And I have exciting news. Lisa has been a navigator in training for the past week.
Yes.
And tomorrow, if she is successful, if she passes the final exam over these 10 miles that we have to walk tomorrow, she will officially be a navigator.
Yes.
She will no longer be in training. So please pray for Lisa tomorrow that she might get a good night's rest and be attentive because, I'm a tough trainer. I don't just let anybody become a navigator.
Some demerits.
Yes. There have definitely been some moments of going in the wrong direction.
And sometimes in our spiritual life, we feel like we're going in the wrong direction.
That's exactly we don't feel like we're going in the wrong direction, but we are going in the wrong direction.
But sometimes we do feel a little lost.
Yeah, I get it.
But sometimes we are going in the wrong direction, and God has to reroute us.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
And so this is very helpful. So let's talk about what happened today, Lisa.
Yes.
What do you got for us?
Oh, okay.
Great, Lisa.
So do you have a spiritual lesson about the beach boats?
Oh, the beach boats.
The low tide, high tide. Let's see what we can.
I think what rising tides lift
off. Ebbs and flows, right? Ebbs and flows.
Well, our lives ebbs and flow, but a rising tide lifts all boats. Okay, so when we have a positive attitude, right, we can raise the temperature in the room.
Oh, that's great. We're the thermostat.
We're the thermostat, or in this case, we're the high tide.
We're the high tide.
Right, because we were talking today in the restaurant how sometimes your waiters, you can tell they don't want to be there.
Yeah.
And other times you can tell they really want to be there.
Yes.
And it makes a difference, when you have someone serving you that is excited about being there.
Yes.
And of course, we have two ladies.
Yes, I was going to say this is a perfect
segue, Lisa.
into,
so why don't you tell us more?
We met two women on our journey thus far that are wonderful examples of hospitality.
Yes.
The first one worked at, I think,
a farmhouse.
Yeah, she owned it with her husband.
Yeah.
And they owned this farmhouse / hotel / restaurant. And she was just so super nice. She washed our clothes for, and then she would, for €3, which is very, very reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
And then she would hang them out to dry for us. And then at the end of the day, we just had to collect our laundry. And she just always had she always had a smile, and she always was willing to accommodate. And no matter what the request, she didn't get, not that, she just.
She did everything.
Yeah, she would, I can't think of the right word, but she would do it without any hesitation.
She's a joyful person.
Oh, and so we went there for dinner twice, and because most people don't stay there for 2 nights in a row, it was the same meal, which we kind of knew. But the first night, our dessert was yogurt with strawberries, and then Deacon Dave asked, "Oh, do you have any helado?" which is ice cream, and she brought us ice cream, but they did it secretly, so the other table didn't see, because she was just so nice.
Yeah, she was very, very nice. And then the other lady was at the place we stayed for 3 days, 2 nights and 3 days, right?
Yes. And so it's very hard. If you don't get into town at the right time, you're kind of out of luck when it comes to food.
Yeah.
And so we came in a little late. It passed the lunch serving time. And we walked into this bar, and this woman said, Deacon Dave said, "Oh, do you have any
We went to
food? Do you have any food in Spanish that we could eat?" And she goes,
"Comida."
She pulls out the menu, and she goes, she showed us what we called our platters, combo platters, just a few things, but she was willing to cook for us, which was huge. And we had a great meal. The food was delicious. The portions were huge. And then we went back the next day. And when we went back the next day, it was so busy. They were having a soccer game. And so the bar was hopping. And
loud.
It was loud. And we walk up, and it was a different lady. And she's like, "No." And she was like the mean lady, no, no.
And then the nice lady came.
Then the nice lady came, and she's like, "Okay, 10 minutes. And so, we sat there, and she came over when she got less busy, and she took care of us, which was great. And then
she took care of Gabby
the next day, Debbie went, and
because we were still gone.
The mean lady. Well, I guess that's not very nice. But the lady who was not willing to serve food was like, "No, no, we close." And then Debbie went back, and then the mean lady, the not accommodating lady was there. And then the nice hospitable lady came, and she took care of Debbie.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think the spiritual lesson here is that we recognize someone who's in need or who doesn't quite understand the rules or the language, that we should make an extra effort to try to help them instead of maybe dismissing them, especially when they've been walking for so long and they're hungry and they want to eat at your location.
Yeah.
So yeah, the whole food thing here is really weird because you have to eat between 2 and 4 lunch, and then everything shuts down. But for food, now you can still get a drink.
Yeah.
But even the halado places where we're at today, they don't even open up till 4:30.
Yes.
So they were closed earlier when we went to lunch. So you got to really know how things roll in order to be able to get it. It's unlike the States where you can pretty much get anything you want anytime you want because everything's open all the time. That's not like that here.
No, but I think those ladies were great examples, to us, how we can, because I think sometimes "Oh no, that's not on the schedule." Sorry, no, we can't. But we can choose to go out of our way to make somebody's day.
Yeah, and it was a ton of food too.
It was
wasn't
a ton of food. Yes,
and
it was good,
and it was very good food. So what other lessons? So thank you to you two ladies. Who have been great inspirations along the way. We do appreciate it. And Lisa is looking for more of our notes from today.
Oh, we saw some locks.
We saw some locks on the bridges, and we've seen this in different parts of the world.
Yep.
I'm not really sure what that means. I think it's for people that love one another or something.
Yeah, I think they lock the lock on the the bridge.
Right. And I think sometimes
Together.
we need to lock our hearts with the heart of God.
Yes.
But so often we lock our hearts with other things
Yes.
in life, and we don't really secure ourselves, if you will, to the one who created us and the one who wants to be locked to our hearts as well.
Yes.
So, what is it in your life that you're chaining yourself to that maybe you should not be chaining yourself to? And ask God to get his padlock cutters out, his chain cutters out, and snap that, and then anchor yourself to him.
Yeah, very good.
Any thoughts from you on that, Lisa?
No, I think that was great.
Thank you, Lisa. What else do we have?
Well, Deacon Dave, we saw some low-lying clouds today that were lower than the mountains.
And so they kind of got stuck.
They got stuck, and sometimes we feel like we're getting stuck.
I think so. Did you want to comment on that?
Sometimes I think we could get frustrated with ourselves or maybe the situation that we're in because we're not getting to where we want to be, or maybe we're falling into the same maybe sins or struggles or reactions, and we just kind of beat ourselves up.
Yeah.
And
So the clouds are floating along as we get frustrated.
then they kind of
Look at
feel like
look
we're
at the
trapped.
shadow on my face.
Oh yeah, look at that.
They
There's a shadow on my
drop.
face.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
Yeah.
They drop down and you get stuck right into the mountains, and you don't feel like you can get out.
Yeah.
Right, and so you have to ask God
Jesus to
help get you above the mountains. It
rise up.
reminded me of Maui and whatever is it, Oahu?
Oahu?
Yeah, that often the clouds are stuck in the mountains in Hawaii. Like every single day, they were like that, and they couldn't go anywhere. And you're right. I mean, we don't want to get stuck. Or maybe sometimes God wants us to be stuck so that we can recognize our dependency on Him, or sit with Him in that place, right? In the midst of that mountain. Say, God is the mountain, right? And say, hey, be still. Stop moving, cloud, and know that I am God.
Maybe it's like an obstacle that you're kind of frustrated. Like, I know I've had obstacles that I've been frustrated with and don't know really what to do. Like, why is this happening, God? And, I heard from several different people, like, obstacles are opportunities, and they're opportunities to ask God, like, okay, Lord, where are you calling me? How are you calling me to react in this situation? Where are you calling me to go from this situation? Or what are you calling me to do in this situation? Instead of getting frustrated, be like, this is not how I planned it.
Yeah, and this is so true.
Yes.
Any other spiritual lessons for today, Lisa?
That is all we have today, Deacon Dave.
Right, so we have another day tomorrow, and then the day after that is 15 miles.
We have a low mileage day tomorrow. Low mileage being 9.5 miles.
Low mileage day.
Meaning not double digits.
Yeah, and then 15, and then 19 and a half, and then a 12, then a 17.
Then
So,
a
yeah.
15, then a 17.
Yeah,
so
so
a big week ahead.
If we seem tired when we do the podcast, well, you'll know why. We're praying for you. We ask that you would pray for us on this time. We remember all of our intentions as we are walking, and also any pain that we're having, we are also offering that up on your behalf. So I'm Deacon Dave.
Only person, Lisa.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.